Hi everyone, my name is Mallery Quetawki. I'm from Zuni Pueblo, and today we'll be creating a health and wellness journal. This journal is going to be all about your well-being, about making sure we have affirmations for ourselves every day, great reminders of who you are and where you're from. You can put anything in this book. We're going to create it from nothing but recycled materials, anything you have laying around the house. Go ahead and go grab something, some newspapers, magazine clippings, pictures of your family. We're going to go ahead and start making something similar to this. We're going to have some activities. I'm going to walk everyone through. We have a lot to do today, so let's all have fun. Grab your things and let's get to creating. Hi, so inside your kits, you should have received hole punched 5x7-inch papers. They're all assorted. You can use these as either pages, or you can cut them up and use them as part of the collage for your book. These two, they're the cardboard kind. You'll probably have a pair in your package, but let's use the sturdier ones as your cover and your back part, okay? So we'll use these for the cover. We're going to decorate them here soon. Also in your kit should also be some activity pages. There should be 4 of them. One is the Zentangled Heart activity, which I'll explain later. The Dragonfly Wishes and Worries. And then 2 blank pages because we're going to be drawing a tree and something about where you're from and your home. Also in the kit were scraps of different papers that you can use. Magazine pieces. You can find anything in the house. You can even use foil, napkins, different colored items. I have in my house some scraps that I want to share. These are pretty neat, but they're all just, little pieces. We're going to cut them up and have fun with these. What wasn't in the kit were things you'll also need is a scissor. You can have one of those fun scissors with the nice decorated edges on it, or just a plain scissors. You're also going to need anything with adhesive, so either a glue stick, I have double-sided tape, I have Elmer's glue, even Scotch tape. Any of these will work. If you don't have anything, like I said, any kind of tape will do. Also in your kit, you should have a long, it looks like a barbecue skewer. We're going to use this and a rubber band to create your book cover, the binding part. If not, if you don't want to use a stick or the rubber band, if you have any string laying around or a really neat ribbon, we'll go ahead and use that as well. If you have pipe cleaners, anything you have around the house that can go fit inside any of these hole punches. You see them right there? We're going to go ahead and sew them through if you have anything, but let's get started on our cover. So we're going to use this rubber band binding and the bamboo stick that was included in the kit to make a binding for the book. So this is kind of hard to sew through the hole punch opening, so I'm going to see if this needle using the sharper tip of the rubber band will help us get it through this opening. Please use help from your parents if you are using this end of the stick because it's pretty sharp. So yeah, look, it caught on. So we're going to go ahead and pull that through and let it come out on this side. And I kind of want this stick to be on the front because it adds a cool little uniqueness to it. So we're going to do it the same on the back. We're just going to put the end of the rubber band like that and kind of push it through the opening. It's a little bit hard, but with some effort you should be able to get it through real easy. Let's see, there we go. And just pull it onto the other side. Now this side you can tie it off any way you would like. We have a way to just kind of loop it around the stick several times. Well, you kind of want your book to have a loose binding because you may want to add more pages in the future to this book. So for now, we're just gonna loop it about 3 times so it creates that. Oop, these didn't get caught. Oh well, we're gonna use these for something later. No worries, mistakes happen. We'll fix that. But yeah, look, it's kind of bound real neatly. Oh yeah, look at that. It opens up. It lets you work on the insides. Perfect. Voila. Now let's see how we can do binding with a ribbon or a string. So we're going to use this rubber band binding and the bamboo stick that was included in the kit to make a binding for the book. So this is kind of hard to sew through the hole punch opening, so I'm going to see if this needle using the sharper tip of the rubber band will help us get it through this opening. Please use help from your parents if you are using this end of the stick because it's pretty sharp. So yeah, look, it caught on, so we're going to go ahead and pull that through and let it come out on this side. And I kind of want this stick to be on the front because it adds a cool little uniqueness to it. So we're going to do it the same on the back. We're just going to put the end of the rubber band like that and kind of push it through the opening. It's a little bit hard, but with some effort you should be able to get it through real easy. Let's see, there we go. And just pull it onto the other side. Now this side, you can tie it off any way you would like. We have a way to just kind of loop it around the stick several times. You kind of want your book to have a loose binding because you may want to add more pages in the future to this book. So for now, we're just gonna loop it about 3 times so it creates that. Oop, these didn't get caught. Oh well, we're gonna use these for something later. No worries, mistakes happen. We'll fix that. But yeah, look, it's kind of bound real neatly. Oh yeah, look at that. It opens up. It lets you work on the insides. Perfect. Voila. Now let's see how we can do binding with a ribbon or a string. So I started this activity called Draw Your Tree. So what we will be doing in this activity is using a tree to be your self-portrait. So who are you? That's the question we're going to be answering with this tree, okay? So first thing, draw your ground. You can use any color you want. I am using really thin markers, real tiny ones. You can use colored pencils, crayons, pens, markers. Probably not so much wet paints because it is not that thick of a paper. But this is going to be one of the white sheets with the hole punches in your kit. And let's go ahead and start drawing the ground. The ground in your self-portrait of the tree is what keeps you steady in life. That's what it represents. And for me, I wrote down family right there. Family is what definitely keeps me grounded. It is the biggest supporters in my life, and everything I do, I think of them, and so that is my ultimate thing in life right now. After you make your ground, you want to start making your roots, and we're gonna represent the roots literally as what your roots are. Who are you? Where are you from? What is your heritage? What is your culture? So for me, I wrote down Ashui, Zuni. I am Zuni, and that is going to be the utmost, most important root of my life because it makes me who I am today. So I added not just, the way roots look like in nature, with the squiggly lines coming out everywhere. You can make a long tap root, but I also wanted to include roots where I can add pictures to. So here I added, my Zuni designs. I added the stairs, which represents clouds in Zuni. You can add anything. You can even put a little heart at the end of one of them, like that. Do what fits you. What is your heritage? You can use any symbol. You can make the roots go all the way out. You can do anything you want. But when you create these roots, think of your heritage, think of your culture. Where are your grandparents from? Where are your parents from? Think of that while you're making this. From there, we're going to move on to creating the trunk. So you can make the trunk as tall and skinny as you want. You can make this giant sequoia tree style base trunk. I'm going to make it kind of like this, kind of like the trees we see around here in New Mexico. I'm going to make just kind of a wide, sturdy trunk. I'm going to go this far for my branches because I'm going to add more branches as we go. But what the trunk represents in this portrait of you is your strength. Think about this. You can think on this. You can come back to this drawing later and add this, but I want you to think, what is your strength? What makes you you? What are you known for? What is something that you yourself believe that makes you a strong person? I feel like one of my strengths is patience. So I'm going to write that probably in this direction. Doesn't fit. Oh well, we can, because we're going to add more as we go. And even when you know, your days go by, you want to add more things in this tree, please feel free. Please make room to do so because it's a good habit. It is a good form of wellness to insert affirmations in your life. And affirmations mean, you know, you want to talk good about yourself. You want to say nice things about yourself. That is self-care. That's about, you know, your overall wellness. Bring out the good in you. So after your trunk is ready to go, we're going to make branches. You can make them any old way you want to. Remember, there's no rules in how you're creating your tree. Your tree is you. Your tree can be majestic, really large, really branchy, or you can make little skinny ones. But remember, the more branches you make is a good thing because these branches continue to grow and continue to add, and they, you know what they say, they branch off over here and over here. It continues to grow. You trim them from time to time because it helps the tree keep growing. So what the branches here represent are the goals in your life. I don't think I've ever seen a tree with this amount of branching, but here we go. No rules, remember? So I'm going to use a different color. I'm going to use purple. So inside these branches, I want you to think about the goals in your life. What are your plans? If you're still young and you're thinking about, oh, I want to make sure I graduate high school, write that down. I want to graduate high school. If you're an adult, what are other things you're thinking about right now? What is a venture in your life? Maybe you want to start a business. You know, write something like that here. Start a business. Let's see. What other things can we write here? I know one thing I really want to do. I want to exercise. I'm going to put that in there. Exercise is important. You want to take care of not just your mind, but your body. They go hand in hand. So that is a goal of mine. Any other goals you can put in here. You're going to keep adding to this, trust me. And I want you to add to this. One of my major goals one day is to become a doctor. So I'm just going to put that right there because that's, to me, I'm still over here. You know, I'm still moving on up. You can put it in any order you want. For mine in particular, I'm going to be, you know, moving up. One of the goals I want to, you know, kind of, I'm still working on, but it's there, is to become an artist. I am still learning every day what it takes to be an artist. So that is still going to be a goal on my tree. I want to definitely create a future for my kids. That's just some of the goals I have. So the last part about your tree, the one that's missing right now, are the leaves. So I feel that leaves represent something that may either worry you, trouble you, problems, things you're afraid of, because leaves are the most temporary part on a tree. And so when we think about putting on our leaves, make them any shape you want to. We don't have to write anything in here. We're going to save that for another exercise later. But I just want you to think here, reflect, and release some of these negative thoughts you might have, your troubles, your worries, and put it into making your leaves. Make them as wide, as small. You can end up with a really fluffy tree at the end of this, or not. You can have a tree that's near fall or spring. All trees are different. But when you're making these leaves, think of these things. Let them go on this page. Because although there are things and issues we don't like having in our lives, we also have to remember they help us grow. These experiences we may have, we may not like, we may be sad, we may be mad, and as long as we can move on from them, remember they're helping us grow. They add to the tree because when leaves fall, where do they go? They fall to the ground. Leaves start falling, they become part of the earth, they deteriorate, they become part of your roots, they become part of your base, of the trunk, and back into the branches. They make this tree strong by adding to the nutrients. Trees, they renew themselves every year. You see the leaves fall off every winter, and you see them come back in the spring. So that is what we have to think about, that each leaf is only temporary. Each issue that you're having right now is only temporary. We can't keep dwelling on it, but we also have to remember it's making the rest of our tree much stronger. So if you're having hard times, hard days, put it into these leaves right here. For this exercise, just put them all in here, because at the end of the season, they're going to fall and they're going to be recycled and add to who you are, and to know that you experienced something that you are able to grow from. So let's not dwell on these issues too long, and let's learn from them, and so that we become better and stronger. So over time, please come back and add to your tree, especially the part with your goals and what makes you strong, because those help each other move yourself up as a person. Your strengths, something you've become good at, please put it here, because these are affirmations, and affirmations are very important on a daily basis. Any of these pages in here you can utilize and write down things to remind yourself every day, because the purpose of this book is to help remind yourself what individual you are. You're strong, you're loving, you're caring, you're important. So let's do that by putting us and ourselves in this book as a reminder. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the next project. Where is home is an activity that we are going to do today. We're going to be drawing, so get your colored pencils, your markers, your crayons. We're going to paint a picture of what we consider home. So, and it can be anything. Everyone's different. So for me, I'm definitely going to make our iconic, our corn mountain in Zuni, Toayalani. That will always be home. Very recognizable when you're going home to Zuni. See all the little watermarks from the flood, the brother and sister. Just gonna make a quick sketch. But please be sure to include either a landscape, you can draw your house, you can draw all kinds of different things that bring you memories of home. I definitely love eating the fruit off of prickly pears, cactuses, and so I'm definitely going to put some of those in my home picture. You can put anything you want. You can even add people, your family, your pets. It does not have to be a landscape. It can be anything you want, because as I have mentioned, this journal is going to be your reminder of who you are as a person. It's going to remind you, especially if you're missing home, maybe you're just feeling a little down, this book of affirmations that you're going to create for yourself will be really good for you, and to let you know that this is who you are and you have the strengths of where you're from. And definitely, Zuni has its own beauty that I really adore, and I really want to make sure I add things from Zuni. Prickly pears brings back a lot of memories. Hunting for these, making jam with them. One of my most favorite plants. It's very pretty, but also very, very dangerous to touch if you don't have the right equipment. This is my completed drawing for Where is Home. I drew DY or Doyalani. It's an iconic mountain in Zuni. And I put the Z hills out front. I put some of the iconic landscapes. I put yucca and prickly pear cactus fruit. I put the sun face, which, is very important to us in Zuni culture. And this is something I wanted to depict as what I think of when I think of home. Put this in your journal. It's important, especially if you're traveling, if you go away for school or for work and you're missing home a bit. Think about, all the times you've had and all the memories you have at home, and make this a great reminder and, to keep you going and keep on working towards your education or your work and just overall positivity. And yeah, this is a really helpful reminder. You can add more. You can, on the other pages, make, your actual household. You can draw your family members. You can even put a collage together of everyone's pictures, the family. It does not have to be a landscape, and it does not have to be a drawing. You can get creative. This next activity is called Dragonfly Wishes and Worries. So as I had mentioned before about the tree activity, about creating the leaves and using the leaves as ideas of things that might bother you or might worry you, this is going to be another activity where we get to release those feelings as well. So the story of the dragonfly, it can mean anything across different cultures, but I'm relating it to our own health and wellness from the Zuni perspective. The Boy and the Dragonfly is a story that is told to us when we were children, and the dragonfly plays a key character in that story. And in that story, the dragonfly helps a young boy and his young sister. They were left behind during a drought that when the Zuni had to retreat to their homes and find another place to be until the land revitalized itself and we were able to plant again. But the story talks about how these children's generosity was recognized by the dragonfly and our ancestors, and so they were given aid, they were helped from the ancients. And so in that story, and with what we're going to do today, I want to use the dragonfly as who he is known for, as a messenger. So today with the dragonfly, I want you to do two things. We're going to write our wishes, things that make us happy, things that make us joyful. What do we want? Because the dragonfly is known to be the messenger to the ancients, to the ancestors. They're the ones who are going to deliver your wishes. So my biggest thing that I want to write here is happiness. Happiness comes in all forms, but I want the dragonfly to tell the ancestors that is something I wish for, not just for myself, but for everyone. Another big thing that I wish for and that I want to see is peace in the world. There's a lot of things going on in our world right now, and that's something we could really use. You can make this very personal about yourself. Maybe you have a personal wish you want to put on here, personal goal, something you want to be blessed with. And so that can be anything. I mean, the dragonfly is also a symbol for fortune. So sometimes, we want an extra $1 in our pocket to help us get through the days, pay some bills. So you can write things like that, like up here, I'm going to put that $. So maybe I'll be blessed, even if it's an extra quarter or $1. it's going to go to something good, and it's going to be very much appreciated. So these are just a few things you can write in here. And what I also want everyone to do is to design it. Design this part of the wing. I mean, the dragonfly has just a real neat design inside the wings. We can make these little designs. We can create all kinds of things inside. We can make different patterns. But at the same time, I want everyone to be able to be putting good thoughts in this part. Really good thoughts. There's so many things that we want in life, and we want to also put that into the world, because this dragonfly, he's gonna take all your wishes into the wind, so that whomever you pray to, whoever you talk to, whoever you ask of these blessings from, will hear them. Because that is what the dragonfly does. He is a messenger. So go ahead and just design any way you want. Also think about the colors you're using. You know, happy colors, really bright neons. Let's think about those colors, because those are happy colors. We want to use happy colors up top here. Some really bold and dark colors, we can save that for other things. Possibly on the bottom of the page right here. We're gonna do an exercise also where we want to talk about things that might worry us. And so I'm definitely going to bring out the black marker for this one. So we all have things going on in our life. There's things we worry about, things that make us sad, things that make us mad. We need to start finding ways to let these go in healthy ways. And one of the ways that, you know, I let things like this go is by drawing, painting, doodling, hanging out with friends and family, and those are all great things. And so for this exercise, I want you to think of the same way. We're gonna send our worries off, the same way that we want our blessings and things we want, that we wish for. We want it to go to the same direction, because on the way, the dragonfly is gonna drop them off somewhere and let it fizzle into the wind, so that it worries us no more. So, you know, definitely the biggest worry is illness. I don't want anybody to be sick. I want COVID to go away. I need it to leave our lands. I need it to leave. I don't want people to be sad anymore. We miss so many people. So I want people to find healthy ways to be able to overcome these things, and to find cures for these illnesses that we live with, and to find comfort for everyone. And so these are some of the things, and you know, there's other things that might be very personal to other people, but what I want to see just disappear, that just really adds to my daily frustrations and worries, is substance abuse. I don't like seeing our family struggle with that, because if someone in the family has, you know, these addictions, then we as an entire family struggle together. So I want that to go. I want the dragonfly to take it far away from us, just to get it away from our towns and villages, because those are wreaking havoc. And there are other things that we can add here, and go ahead and come back to this when you can, but I'm going to start, you know, adding these designs. Like, I just want things to just go away. I just need these colors, you know, to let it be known that we do not want these in our lands anymore, that we want better outcomes for everybody. And I said, you can add more things to this. You can, as we go, anything that comes up, you can start adding it here. You can, anything you wish upon, you can definitely add into the top wings. Remember, we want happiness and blessings and the positive things we wish for up at top. And the things we don't want to see anymore, or the things that worry us, things that we might be thinking about before we go to bed, things that make us scared. And this is your journal. You can put whatever you want here, but leave it here. This is where we want, to start moving forward from these ideas and these things that bother us. Let the dragonfly take it for you, okay? This activity is called Zentangled Heart. What Zentangle means is to doodle. So right now, go ahead and pick your favorite colors. Once again, I'm going to take out my little thin markers and we'll just get to doodling. Other than, the heart is made to be the powerhouse of our bodies. The heart is also, where we like to store most of our happy memories, and it makes us who we are as well. So when you decorate your heart, add some fun designs on it. And so Zentangle is just basically doodling using little tiny markings, little tiny dots, let's say, as a way to color. So, coloring isn't always solid. We're used to coloring in things like this, right? We're so used to that. But what if we, instead of just a solid color, we include a pattern, like a spiral or something that keeps going round and round. We can even just do lines and what's called cross-hatching, like I did there. You can make any type of design you want. You can even start adding little pictures inside here. So, as with my Zuni heritage, I'm going to start making designs that are noticeable. Designs we see on pottery. The rainbird. And all we do is fill in the space. But at the same time, make sure you're doing this with all good intentions, because we want to make sure our heart is in the same manner. We want to make sure that we add things that make us happy. This is the primary focus of this portion. And Zentangling is a really neat thing too. You can doodle just to kind of get your focus back. I know some of us who work can sit in on meetings, and it's been a neat technique for me, especially when I was in school also, that as you're listening to a presenter, as you're listening to your teachers or, a long meeting, and you're doing active listening, but at the same time you can be doodling, because it is said that, as you're creating these little tiny drawings, your brain is also taking in the information that's being told to you. And it puts it in a certain place inside your head that lets you recall. And recall is very important for learning. It's how we remember things. So just adding patterns like this. Practice active listening. Probably do this in front of, turn on a podcast or something. Turn on an audio book. Sit down and speak with one another and have a chat with somebody and do this together and see all the types of ways you can come up with patterns. And at the same time, are you going to remember the conversations you've had? This becomes part of your memory, and I feel that it's helped me throughout my college years, especially. All my notes have all these little drawings all over, and it helped me remember. It helped me kind of put all these notes into specific places in my learning process. So you can design this any old way you want, but make sure, as I had said, you keep a clear mind, you have all good intentions, relax your shoulders, clear your mind, and let's fill up every single space, every single chamber of the heart. Let's make something. I'll come back when this is finished, okay, and we'll talk more about it. So this is my completed Zentangled heart. As you can see, a lot of it is patterning, a lot of it is just markings, designs. You don't have to stick with solid colors. You can make all the kinds of patterns you want. Have fun with it, clear your mind, be positive, and just keep on creating.